What you thinking, boss?
I'm thinking that he's tougher than he looks. A little training, he'll make himself useful.
Never like kids. Especially ones with guns.
See, kid's a natural.
No. He's no natural. Far from it. You probably noticed on the way in, we've expanded housing. They'll have their own quarters, separate from ours. Won't be counted as staff.
So what, we're running a daycare now?
They'll learn how to read and write. Do basic jobs.
Chance at a real life. Just not from behind a gun.
Being behind a gun's what we do, boss. There's no room for angels in our heaven.
Objective is to eliminate the PF commander they call the Major. One of the Major's subordinates working undercover with the CFA is due to make contact with him. Check his current location on your iDroid. Follow him, and he should lead you right to the Major. We have a new assignment. Eliminate the commander of Rogue Coyote, one of the PFs operating in Africa. The target is simply the Major to his men. That's his rank from his army days. Instead of your typical boots on the ground work, he's more of a job broker and a recruiter. And apparently he also runs a little espionage operation on the side. Which could explain why he's picked up a long list of enemies. I don't like getting involved in a PF pissing match any more than you do. There's another reason we took this job. Recently, this guy's been talking about dealing in nuclear arms. Think back to the shipment that Cypher was having ZRS transport. If we put the squeeze on this Major, we might come out of it with some new intel on Cypher.
Ну, погнали. О, блин, вертолет. Не круто. Херать вас тут. О, кстати, хороший чел, в принципе. Тоже хороший чел. Еще хороший чел.
Analysis complete.
Stay on him.
The map has been updated.
То бишь мне за машиной ехать. Бежать, точнее.
We have no fix on the target, not even a predicted field of movement. All we have to go on is this meeting with his subordinate. Remember, this guy will call the meeting off if he thinks he's being tailed. You've got to do everything you can to stay out of sight.
Ну, попробуем. Ну, попробуем. А, блин. Да, там едут. Просто по барханам, точнее даже по горам, скорее. Бархан-то в Афгане. Только не говоришь, что...
Clouds approaching.
Что он что-то заподозрил. Как будто поехали быстрее, мне это не нравится. Ой. Я вообще, типа, еще пару миссий перепрошел, потому что я случайно уволил пару полезных людей. И вот, мне пришлось пару миссий перепройти.
Enemy presence detected.
Вот.
The map
И
has been
оказывается,
updated.
можно спокойно убивать. И вот получать S-ранг. Типа, что за бред вообще?
Enemy presence detected.
Как это работает?
The map analysis complete.
Я просто реально я не понимаю, как работает система рангов, потому что
Analysis complete.
иногда ты такой сидишь, думаешь, блин, вот сейчас вот я выполнил идеально, получаешь А. Перепроходишь. Вот. Ну, то есть, там были пару миссий, которые я прям перепроходил, но чаще всего я просто реально, я
Enemy presence detected.
завершаю
The
миссию,
map
думаю, ну
has
все, ну
been
это
updated.
точно не S, но это не может быть S, получаю S. Типа, как так вообще, что за бред? Где мы вообще находимся?
Analysis complete.
Хера себе, чел.
Analysis complete.
О, пленник. Пленник, это интересно. Надеюсь, они его пришли не убивать.
Analysis complete.
Что-то все какие-то хорошие, блин.
Analysis complete.
Более-менее. А, они пересели в машину в другую, что ли? Судя по силуэтам. Ай. Вот, типа, сколько бы я рабит не использовал,
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
все равно получу S-ранг, блин. Я еще переигрывал некоторые миссии, потому что вот эта псина иногда бежала просто на врагов. И, например, миссия была, где нужно было спасти пленников, которые допрашивают. Вот там вообще жесть была. Типа... Они допрашивают челика, собака мимо них пробегает, сбивает с ног, они идут дальше. Типа они не допрашивают. Идиоте.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Они остановились, что ли? Да. Давай, 300 метров еще бежать.
DD,
Гав-гав.
DD,
Гав-гав.
DD.
Какие-то люди там стоят.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Опа.
Analysis complete.
Неон.
Analysis
Неон.
complete. Analysis
Это он.
complete.
That's the target.
Has been updated.
Псина, блин.
Ek is gereed om terugvoering te gee, Major.
En gee my net die breedtrekker.
Die CFA kon nog nie vasstel hoe die huursoldate in Wallawamasa gesterf het nie. Al wat hulle kon kry was die plaaslike bevolking wat praat oor bose geeste.
Dis net so hulle is.
Aha. Maar daar is gerugte dat jy die job van die hand gewys het omdat jy geweet het van die siekte. En nou is iemand besig om 'n vergeldingssquad saam te stel.
Van alle dinge. En ek maak soms my hande vuil. Maar ek's 'n engel in vergelyking met sommige van hierdie bliksems. Slawehandel. Reg onder hulle neuse en hulle wil my vervolg.
Maar ek's nie 'n voortrekker nie, maar jy's heeltemal reg. Nie een van ons verdien 'n prys op sy kop.
In elk geval, sê die res in 'n geskrewe verslag. Wat meer belangrik is jou volgende taak. ZRS probeer 'n ou man om die lewe bring. Dit het iets te doen met kernwapenhandel. Maar ek het geen idee wie die ou man is nie.
Ek verstaan. Ek sal dit ondersoek. En kernwapens te ondersoek is, wel, dis 'n baie gevaarlike pad om te loop.
Ja, ek weet nie. Kan wees wat hierdie plek nodig het. Ek die skrik maak tussen die lande. Kan baie bloedvergieting staan.
Jy dink Mobutu en die res sal die sin daarvan kan insien.
Maar miskien het hulle planne om die groot koppe ook gelukkig te hou. Vir nou, vind uit waarmee ZRS besig is.
Ek begryp, meneer.
Как я вообще смог попасть во все вот эти?
Mission info has been updated.
Всем спать. Блин, это плохо. Да, это я. Почему музыка такая громкая, я не понимаю. Так, хорошая есть.
Okay, subject is in. Damn, hardly looks like the treasure trove of intel we were hoping for. Well, whatever. Exfiltrate the hot zone and RTB.
Так, где мне нужно сваливать? Вопрос.
Select a landing zone.
Только там. Меня волнует вертолет. Мягко говоря. Вот там что-то стоит. Блин. Не думаю, что это кто-то услышит в такой же жопе мира. Можно пока что-нибудь послушать.
Where is she? You mean quiet? In her cell, of course. Why did you send her out with the boss on that mission? She proved herself well enough, didn't she? The boss sure knows talent when he sees it. That woman will never be one of us. She's targeting him. Don't forget, we do owe her one. What's that supposed to mean? Remember what happened when she first got here? She shot down the aircraft Cypher sent after us. Not only that, she hit the cockpit. Who else could have done that? We're talking about a fighter jet traveling at Mach speed. What's your point? If she hadn't been there, the boss's chopper would be at the bottom of the ocean right now, or it would have been followed right back to Mother Base. So let's say she does have some elaborate scheme in the works. If you want to catch her in the act, all we can do is sit back and wait. On the other hand, if she swears allegiance to the boss like our other Fulton recruits, he couldn't ask for a better partner. She's got you fooled. I have eyes on her. If she tries anything, she'll regret it.
Интересно, как долго он там будет стоять? Потому что мне нужно улетать, как бы. А оно как бы тут стоит. Что мне делать теперь с ним? Почухал жопу песика. Иди сюда. Есть что послушать еще? Шахта, чувака. Легендарный наемник.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over. What do you mean? Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield.
Блин, он реально долго там будет стоять, что ли?
Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes. A warning? Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that. I never said any of that. The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did. And stand up to Cypher. Of all the stupid things you could do, they'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Это иди, песель.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Still, don't expect to walk in the park.
Supply drop complete.
Все попросыпались, блин, еще. Тоже плохо. Наверное.
Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected.
А, слушай, может, они должны были туда приехать, улететь.
South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them.
Я тогда подожду, пока они туда придут. Мне даже интересно стало.
They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem that stretches all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, groups of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. PFs expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could grow by leaps and bounds.
Блин, все, конечно, прекрасно, но, судя по всему, это не сработало. Окей, тут еще чуть-чуть осталось, но... Я просто думаю, либо пойти нападать, либо пытаться вызвать вертолет, но он так близко. Выходить я не хочу таким образом. То есть просто если я выйду, я выиграл. Я хочу улететь, чтобы это было нормально, скажем так.
Caution, rain approaching.
Ладно, похер.
Please support helicopter.
Если что, собью его.
Mother base is now in the red.
У меня деньги кончились. Минус 25 тысяч. Надо будет побочки повыполнять. Где наш вертолет? Вроде не спалил. Ладно. Ничего страшного, зато послушали кассеты. Ну да, это было странно.
Exfiltrated hot.
You're out of the hot zone. No enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Mission completion.
The Major spilled his guts all right. His nuclear arms business was just a rumor he was paid to spread around. He doesn't even know who's paying him. All his instructions came through a cutout. Hell, who else would be behind it but Cypher? And this nuclear arms trading is clearly connected to that yellow cake. He thought the same thing, which is why he tried to investigate ZRS himself. He said something else that caught my attention. That ZRS are trying to kill some old man. How did one old man get that kind of attention?